And welcome to Detroit Public Television's Town Hall on the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program, better known as ERAP. Let's look at a video from Wayne County Executive Warren Evans.
Hello, I'm Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. If you're a renter or landlord in Wayne County living outside of Detroit, you can still get relief for any housing issues related to COVID-19. Wayne County's Emergency Rental Assistance Program can keep you from losing your home and significantly ease your situation. Qualified individuals can have their rental arrears covered up to 12 months, as well as future rent for up to 3 months. For more information, visit the website below, and thank you.
Thank you, Executive Evans. Greetings and welcome to the Detroit Public Television's virtual town hall on the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program, also known as ERAP. I'm your host, Stephen Grady Muhammad, Deputy Chief of Staff for Wayne County Executive Warren C. Evans. I am so thrilled to present to you what's sure to be an informative and lively discussion on an important program that can help landlords and renters overcome financial challenges that have been brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. With me in this program is a great panel of experts and leaders that will bring a wide variety of perspectives to the conversation. I would like to introduce to you, first of all, Luz Meza. Luz is the Interim Director of Economic Development for Wayne County, and her responsibilities include the oversight and execution of Wayne County's economic development initiatives, including business retention and attraction, workforce development, entrepreneurial support, and special programs and projects. Luz obtained a bachelor's degree of economics and international studies from the University of Michigan and a master's of public policy and master's of arts in applied economics from the University of Michigan as well. Welcome, Luz Meza.
Hi. It's good to see everyone, and thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you, Luz. I would also like to introduce Denise McGeen. Denise is a consultant with the Work Department, which is a Detroit-based firm that provides program management, design, and facilitation services to organizations across sectors and industries that prioritize access, equity, and shared respect. Denise is working with a group of nonprofit organizations to help promote our ERAP program in Wayne County communities. Support for their efforts is provided by the Balmer Group and the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you, Stephen. It's great to be here.
Next but not least is Mihaela Mitrofan. Mihaela Mitrofan is the director of the Southeast Michigan Refugee Resettlement Program with Samaritas, where she has worked since 1966. In this role, Mihaela leads refugee resettlement efforts in Southeast Michigan's in consultation with national resettlement partner Lutheran Immigrant and Refugee Service, Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service. Mihaela and the New Americans team at Samaritas have taken a proactive role in partnering with various government entities, a large network of service providers, and local communities for the resettlement and integration of thousands of refugees. Very important work. Welcome, Mihaela.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So glad to have you. Very important work. Our next panelist for the evening for this program is Miss Portia Roberson, a very good friend of mine and native of Detroit, Michigan. She's been actively involved in the community throughout her career. Portia currently serves as the president and CEO of Focus Hope, a racial and social justice nonprofit organization. She's previously served in various nonprofit and government roles, including being appointed in 2009 by President Barack Obama to be the director of the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs at the Department of Justice. Portia Roberson, welcome.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I'm thrilled to be here.
Glad to have you as well. And of course, rounding out our panel is Lovie Wilson, who has been with DTE for over 13 years, providing direct customer support. She also has over 20 years experience in customer service. Lovie is currently a senior customer service analyst with the Energy Assistance Division, where she partners with external agencies to assist low-income and senior customers with payment programs. Lovie Wilson.
Thank you for having me this evening. Glad to be a part of
And
this.
so glad to have you here. So for our program this evening, we are going to talk about the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, better known as ERAP. We'll discuss what ERAP is, who's eligible. We'll talk about specifically the Refugee program and how ERAP impacts folks who are new in our country. We'll talk about the ERAP impact on utilities, and we will also talk about misconceptions about the program, and we will talk about outreach as well. I do have another panelist who is Denise McGeen. Denise, it looks like I'm introducing you twice. So once again, I'd like to welcome you specifically and the rest of our panelists to the program. All right.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and get started with our program. Let's talk about ERAP, and that is, of course, the acronym for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Luz, can you share with us what is ERAP?
Absolutely. The Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program, also known as ERAP, is a program available to landlords and renters within Wayne County who have been financially impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and are still experiencing housing instability, also whose household income is below 80% of the area median income, or AMI.
Great, thank you. Can you also tell us about the origin of the program? Where did it come from?
Yeah, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program was born from the American Rescue Plan as a way to continue combating the effects of the pandemic on our Wayne County families.
Sure, thank you. I want to open up the questions to our panel, and I'd also like to let our viewers know that you're able to view our program on Facebook Live and YouTube Live as well. And if you have questions for our panelists, you can go to the chat feature in Facebook Live or YouTube Live and enter in your questions, and we'll be able to get to your questions in this program. So panelists, how do we know that this need exists for rental and utility assistance in our community? Anyone can take that.
I'll jump in, Stephen.
Sure.
Well, we saw over the course of the last 2 years a direct relationship between the pandemic and the need that we saw throughout Wayne County. I mean, we saw an increase in terms of parents who needed assistance with formula and other items for their children while their children were home with them all day. We saw an increased drive to get into some of our workforce training programs. And we certainly saw it around our Food for Seniors program. And I think that was a direct correlation between where people were trying to make the adjustment to pay rent and utilities and mortgage, and also being able to take care of themselves when they weren't able to work or because the labor force had changed so much during the last 2 years. So I think, providing those direct services gave us a key observation on where people needed help.
And you know what, Portia, that is so important because people have been struggling for the last 2 years or so with COVID. and having to make some really, really hard decisions. So having this great program is an opportunity for them to get some relief in their life and take some of the stress and pressure off, because we know that along with the medical and health challenges that COVID has provided for us, there's also been a tremendous mental health situation as well. So this program is being run a certain way. Luz, can you tell us the finer points of the program and how it's being run?
Yeah, the program is currently being primarily administered by Wayne County and our economic development team here, but we have an amazing network of support organizations and partners such as Focus Hope, the Balmer Group, the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan, Samaritas, and many of our Wayne County municipalities who are supporting us and working with us and making sure that we're reaching Wayne County residents who are most at need, and that we're providing them the support to apply and to ultimately benefit from this program.
Sure. And what types of assistance are available to our constituents?
Currently, the forms of assistance that are available are rental assistance and covering both rental arrears and future rent. We also cover utility assistance. We have an internet stipend, and there is also a portion for relocation assistance.
Okay. So Luz, let me get this straight. The program will pay past rent due and pay rent that is coming up as well. Can you explain that to us?
Yes, absolutely. This will allow residents to cover their rental arrears, so back rent, and we can cover up to 3 months of future rent through this program as well.
Okay. So up to 12 months back rent and then up to 3 months future rent.
Well,
So
it's
a
a
total of
maximum. Yeah, it's a maximum of 15 months.
15
And
months.
then
Okay.
up to 3 months can be future rent, and then we can look into their applications again for future after that as well.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm really excited about this because I've talked to people in the community who've had an opportunity to participate in the program. What is some of the feedback that you've gotten from folks who have participated in the program?
We are getting a lot of feedback from individuals who were currently facing either eviction, who really needed the help. And it's been really great talking to our community members, working with landlords. We had heard from landlords in the past as business owners, they were seeing losses in their revenue, and they were worried about a lot of their tenants who were unable to make rent. And so we're able to work closely with them as well to make sure that they're continuing to provide this much needed housing across the county, as well as supporting our residents who are in need.
Great. Thank you. You know, one of the things that you do whenever you take a group photo, you can see all of us here on the screen. And whenever you take a group photo, who's the first person that you look for in the photo if you were in it? Yourself, right? So how are people eligible for this program? Who's eligible for the program?
Yeah, there are a number of criteria for eligibility for the emergency rental assistance. Obviously, the most important one is that the applicant must be a current resident or prospective renter in Wayne County, and it must be a renter, not homeowner. Landlords can also apply and receive money on behalf of their tenants, but they have to additionally submit a tenant application as part of that package. One or more individual within the household. So one of the eligibility is that must be qualified for either unemployment benefits or have experienced a reduction in income, incurred significant costs, or experienced other financial hardships due to the pandemic, or directly or indirectly due to COVID-19. One or more individual within the household can demonstrate a risk of experiencing homelessness or housing instability. And then the final requirement is that the household income must be at or below the 80% area median income as determined by HUD.
That's great. And the graphic that we had on the screen showed, based on the amount of people who are in the household, the different amounts that are make you eligible, the annual maximum income that make you very eligible. And I'd like for people to take a look at that, because that's very important,
Yeah.
because that's kind of the first thing that gets assessed. So who would not be available though, Luz, for the program?
So obviously folks who are above that 80% area median income, folks who don't live in Wayne County. Again, this is meant to encompass Wayne County renters and also their landlords, but there is an income threshold that we're looking for as well. And all of this information is on our website at waynecounty.com/rental assistance. The box that shows you kind of the AMI threshold, depending on household size, is there for folks who want to go and take a look.
Sure, great. And this is for renters only, right? Not homeowners, but specifically renters.
Correct. This is a rental assistance, so specifically for those who are renting in Wayne County.
Okay, great. So here I am. I'm sitting at home. I'm stressed out because I'm behind in my rent. I don't know what I'm going to do. I turn on the TV and I look at this program here. I see these beautiful people talking about this great program here. How would I apply for the program?
Yeah, you can apply directly on our website. The website is waynecounty.com/rental assistance. You can find there a link up for tenant applications, so for the renter, and you will also see the application for the landlord. Again, for landlords, they will need an accompanying tenant to apply. And again, all of it is right there, waynecounty.com/rental assistance.
Great, excellent. So are there priority groups of people?
Yes, there is a priority set for households with an income that is below the 50% area median income. And we are prioritizing those applications in terms of processing.
Okay, so it's very important for people to be able to demonstrate their household income in this process, because that's what they're going to be assessed on, right?
That is correct. We are required to report this information, and as part of the documentation, which we will go into in a little bit, we do ask for proof of income, or there are alternative forms to document that as well.
Okay, great. So when are the applications being accepted? What is the window for the applications? Are you accepting applications now, or
Yeah.
what's going on with that?
We have been accepting applications for several months now. The applications are open now, and we will continue accepting applications and processing on a rolling basis until the funding is fully depleted.
Okay, great. And then how long would you anticipate, or how long could someone expect to wait for their application to be reviewed and potentially approved, or at least get some word back on what's going on with their application?
Yeah, it would take about, I think we're estimating right now 4 to 6 weeks for the full processing of the application and a decision to be communicated to applicants.
Okay, great. And I know that we have a lot of things going on as it relates to the application process. I think I want to go to Portia, because Portia, you deal with a lot of folks in our community who have various levels of an ability to fill out an application or understand the process. What would you say to those folks who may have fear about exposing their personal financial information to this program and filling out the application and trusting the process? What reinforcing things would you say to them, Portia?
Well, Stephen, this is a great question for us, because one of the reasons we were so happy to partner with Wayne County and the Wayne County Executive on the ERAP program is because we know sometimes people are a little more trusting of a nonprofit that's been around so long and has a long and rich history in this area. And we wanted to make sure that people felt very comfortable. One of the things I've been saying since we partner with Wayne County on the ERAP program is we don't want to leave a dollar behind. There should be nobody who's out there struggling who doesn't know about the opportunity to get some assistance. So we've made sure that when you contact Focus Hope, we have people that we actually brought on to make sure we could help people walk through the program. We didn't want to leave them to try and figure out our website on their own. So when you call and you make an appointment with us, we'll walk you through it very carefully. And I think people respond to that because they feel very comfortable, one, with Focus Hope and the fact that we've been around for so long, but also because there's a human being that you're talking to and is walking you through what you're going to need for the application process.
You know what? That's excellent, Portia. I look at that as kind of when you go on a trip and you go in the lobby, there's a concierge there that helps you with everything locally that you might want to do, and that your organization is providing a concierge effect for this program. That is so important, to take the hands of our citizens and walk them through the program, because people are stressed. And they are really struggling with this whole thing. And if we have the answer through this ERAP program, folks, this is good work. This is God's work. So I appreciate everything everyone is doing. You know, there are some folks who have had some very strong challenges lately as it relates to where they live and being displaced. We can see when we turn on the news, we see the war that's happening over in the Ukraine with Russia. We know that recently folks who lived in Afghanistan have had to relocate. So there is a component of this ERAP program called the Refugee program. Luz, can you talk about the Refugee program portion?
Absolutely. We have had and maintained extensive partnerships with our refugee resettlement partners here in the region. Refugee resettlement is something that we have continued to actively work on and support the efforts here on the ground in Wayne County. And as part of this program, we understood there was a high need for folks who were coming to Wayne County for the first time. And we wanted to make sure that we were providing the level of support that would allow them to successfully settle here and bring their families here to a stable home. And so as part of our rental assistance program, we have partnered with Samaritas to extend this program to incoming refugees and allow them to utilize this program as a way of settling here and covering their rent here in Wayne County.
And that's great. Thank you. And that's a great lead into Mihaela. Mihaela, you work with Samaritas and you've helped to forge a partnership between Wayne County and Samaritas to benefit the folks who are refugees in our area. Can you talk to us about that partnership?
Absolutely. Samaritas' partnership with Wayne County goes back several years when we began exploring ways to engage the local government in our refugee work. Wayne County leadership has been incredibly supportive of our resettlement efforts and helped Samaritas access ERAP funding for refugees. The application process is accessible to refugees because our bilingual staff provides assistance with submitting the documentation needed to establish eligibility, identification, residence, and also the program helps foster good relationships with landlords. We help educate them about the program and the process for registering in the system as well. We know that, Wayne County is a welcoming place for refugees, recognizing that refugees are not a drain, but a gift to our communities. They help with population growth. They bring economic contributions. They take jobs. They pay taxes. And they help strengthen the fabric of our community. There was an impact study published a few years ago, which talks about refugee contributions. It was published by University of Michigan, and The study reveals that refugees generated a 300 million positive benefits to the local economy between 2007 and 2017. And one more comment here is that the Wayne County leadership is also considering additional ways to support our mission, recognizing that with the right support, refugees can integrate well and thrive in Wayne County. We are already planting a seed of hope to the recently arrived Afghan refugees and others as well, that very soon with hard work, they can be in the position to dream about home ownership.
Great. And you know what? I was wondering if we provided multilingual assistance, because you have people who are coming here who may not speak English, who may not understand the customs and what have you. And the work that you're providing through your group is so important to make them feel comfortable in this process and at home. What kind of difference do you think that this could make, though, for refugee families who are truly in need?
ERA provides refugees a lifeline in the midst of a constellation of challenges they work through, just being new in the country, navigating the COVID pandemic, not having a job or losing the job they had, struggling to secure transportation to work. Also dealing with the effects of trauma they experience back home. So all that adds up to their challenges. The program impacts several aspects of refugees' well-being and self-sufficiency. It offers them housing stability, permanency, ability to live a dignified life and not worrying about not being able to make ends meet. Refugees know that this is a limited assistance program, and Samaritas uses this season to help with financial literacy and learn to set aside funds for an emergency fund. Our team also assists with the required certification every 3 months when the refugee tenant is required to check back in with their ERAP representative to verify eligibility, including continued residence and income in case anything changed.
That's great. I really like what you said about providing the refugees with a measure of dignity, because just because you're having to go to another country for different reasons doesn't mean that you should lose your dignity in the process. What else would you like people to know about the current refugee crisis in Michigan and in Wayne County?
So very early on, back in the fall, late summer, Samaritas responded courageously and generously to the call from the federal government, and we created the Afghan Refugee Network to help in our commitment to welcome at least 350 Afghan refugees between November and February. Now that is the number we will welcome in just Southeast Michigan alone, having welcomed over 500 Afghan refugees across the state. This was a huge undertaking for Samaritas in that we have now resettled more individuals than we did in the last 3 years combined. There are still many needs to process such a high number of refugees and help them get settled in permanent housing. However, many Afghans have been working from the first or second month of arrival, and we already have seen some progress they made with learning English and about the US and the culture. We continue to be inspired by the generosity of our community and the Afghan Refugee Network of donors, volunteers, mentors, foundations, the faith community and service organizations, and of course the state and local government, which have been walking alongside us in helping refugees find a welcoming home in Wayne County.
That's great, and so important for us to have a welcoming home in Wayne County. And for our viewers out there who are watching the program on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, please remember that you can go to the comments section just below your screen and enter your question in about this very important program. So we're hoping that you're watching. We're hoping that you have some questions. I have a question myself, because the program does not just accommodate rent. does it? Lovie, tell us about the great need that is out there for utility assistance and how ERAP satisfies that great need.
Well, as stated earlier, ERAP is providing assistance as far as utilities is concerned, and there's definitely a great need with the huge job loss due to the pandemic. And we have a lot of low-income customers and seniors that just are behind from being affected, whether it's been the pandemic, job loss, or being affected by COVID. There is definitely a great need for utility assistance, and we are doing everything we can do, working along with ERAP to assist those customers, because energy, heat, light, and gas is very important to our constituents and customers.
Thank you, Lovey. Those are all of the ancillary things that help you to live in a place. Just because you have your rent paid, you still need lights, you need gas, and this program provides for that.
Absolutely. It's very important.
Excellent. I want to go back to Luz. Luz, tell me, how has Wayne County partnered with DTE and all the municipalities to assist our Wayne County residents with utilities?
Yeah, I mean, our team realized the importance of working directly with the source and making sure that we keep the lights on and utilities running for our Wayne County residents. And so we went ahead and formed these strategic partnerships to make sure that we're supporting residents by communicating with our partners and utilities and our municipal partners on their behalf, to make sure that they know what the process is with the program, so that they know that relief is coming for a lot of our residents who are most in need.
Great, thank you. And Lovey, what else would you like the audience to know about DTE and what DTE is doing to help Wayne County residents?
Well, we are partnering with not only ERAP, but we are partnering with other agencies or other programs that is readily available to our customers. If you're in need, we're just saying, hey, contact us. Don't wait until your services are shut off. If you contact us at 1-800-477-4747, we have representatives available to assist you daily. We're also assisting with completing SCR applications. And we can refer you to other programs such as LSP once you are approved for an SCR. So we have a wealth of programs. We have a lot of funding that has been provided. So we just ask that you contact us, and it's case-by-case scenario. We'll analyze your account and refer you and assist you wherever you're needing assistance as far as your utilities are concerned.
Great. Now, Lovey, I know that you've been with DTE for a minute. You mentioned a couple of acronyms. I'm going to have you tell us what those acronyms mean, but I also would like for you to go over that phone number again for us.
Sure. The phone number is 1-800-477-4747.
Great. Thank you. Now, you mentioned the LSP program as well. What is that?
Low Income Self-Sufficiency Program. So that's for our low income customers. It is a affordable payment plan. Customers can apply for an SCR first through the state of Michigan, State Emergency Relief. Once you are approved, we have partnering agencies that we partner with that we can refer our customers to, and they can apply to be a part of the LSP program. And again, it is an affordable payment program for 24 months. The customer will have an affordable payment plan, and the MEET funding will pay towards the arrears on the customer's account as long as their payments are paid every month, or every month they still receive payments towards their account. So yes, LSP. And we have a lot of acronyms at DTE. So
yes, you do. That's true. I mean, DTE in itself is an acronym, I think, right?
yes.
But I want you to give that phone number one more time, because that is what initiates everything else for some of the help that you're going to get through DTE. So could you please give that phone number one more time?
Sure. The phone number for our customer service is 1-800-477-4747, or you can contact us via dteenergy.com, or If you have the mobile app, you can download the mobile app. But again, the customer service number is 1-800-477-4747. And we are available 24/7.
Great.
Customer service is available 24/7. So yes, feel free to contact us.
Because you never know when a person is going to have a customer service need with their utilities, and that is critical. Thank you so
Yes.
much for providing that 24-hour service for our customers. We really, really appreciate that. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions about the ERAP program, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, because I've heard that there are a few multiple rental assistance programs. What are the differences of those programs? Luz, can you tell us what the differences of the different programs are?
Yeah, I think it's a little confusing for folks when there are a few different programs and a few different applications. There is a program that is run by the state, I think referred to as the SARA program. There's also a program that is being run by the city of Detroit that assists the city of Detroit residents. All of the programs have the same goal. All of the programs have a similar structure. Ultimately, you can only receive assistance from one of the programs, and so you wouldn't apply to the state program and the county program looking for assistance from both. We do work very closely with our partners running the program from the state end and from the city, and we do check it with each other to make sure that if one awardee is already being accounted for via one program, that they're not being considered in the other.
Great. And I know there's been maybe a little bit of confusion in the community because the city of Detroit resides in Wayne County, but the city of Detroit has its own special and unique program that is separate and apart from Wayne County. Can you talk about those two differences briefly?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it is the same source of funding. The city of Detroit received an allocation for the city. Wayne County received an allocation with an intention for our outer county communities. The city of Detroit is administering their funding via their program, and Wayne County administers for a lot of our out county communities. And again, folks, including the state program, folks can certainly apply to as many of the programs as they would like. They can only be funded by one program.
Okay. So now let me ask you this follow-up question. If they apply to both programs, what happens to their application?
Yeah, we generally communicate with all of these partners, and so before we are able to issue an award, we would check in with all of the partners running parallel or sister programs, and we would make sure, confirm with them that the address, or that there isn't a double for the address or the applicant, or whatever the case may be, the landlord perhaps. So we would check that with the other programs.
Okay. I like that word that you used, Luz, award, because if people submit all of their documentation and they fit within the parameters of the approval process, they can get an award. So how do tenants get paid through ERAP, and how do landlords get paid through ERAP?
Yeah, tenants are paid via a debit card that also comes with checks and a really great customer service line where they can call and get support in making transfers and things like that. So all of our tenants are being paid via a debit card that comes directly to them. In the case that there is a landlord that is applying in partnership with their tenant, we are able to offer a direct deposit or process a direct deposit for that landlord.
So the method of payment for the landlord and the tenant, there are two different methods, is what I've heard. One is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that is correct. It's a debit card for the tenants, and there is a direct deposit process for the landlords.
Great. Okay. So that sorts that out so folks can know exactly how they would receive their funds. Now, understand that there's a tenant application and a landlord application. Sometimes I think this can be a little confusing to our constituents. Can you explain why you have the tenant application and the landlord application for the same address?
Yes, absolutely. I think especially in the early pandemic, we were hearing from a lot of landlords who were looking for support, and we definitely wanted to create a system for them to come through and submit those requests. They do have to have an accompanying residence, so the landlord can apply. We can pay them directly. That eases some of the like double work for the tenant. The tenant knows that we've already paid their landlord. We know that we've already paid their landlord. And that makes the process a little quicker for them. It's easier to process on our end, as it's just a direct deposit from the county to that landlord. But ultimately, residents who are not applying with their landlord, they can be awarded separately. And as long as they can provide the proper information proving their residence.
So a tenant can apply separately from the landlord, and a landlord can apply separately from the tenant.
The landlord always requires to have an accompanying tenant application. We definitely have to ensure that there's someone occupying that space who's in need of the assistance.
Okay, great. Thank you. Is there any other misconceptions out there that we need to clear up in this program? Well, I think, sure, Portia, go ahead.
Sorry about that, Stephen. I waited too long. I would just say that if you're getting some other services from Focus Hope, it doesn't prevent you from getting from applying for the ERAP services. So a lot of our seniors are in our senior food program. I want them to know that they can also apply for the ERAP services if they qualify, and it won't negate their food supplemental box. So in a lot of situations, we have families who have kids in our early education program. This program is very much open to them as well. So I know while you can't apply across state or county for dual programs in that sense, you can apply even if you're already receiving some services from Focus Hope.
And you know what, Portia, that's so very important to know that you may be getting some services, and you know how sometimes people will think because they're getting one service that knocks them out from being able to get the other service. An example would be folks who are on Section 8. And this is to the panel. If you get Section 8, can you still receive ERAP assistance?
Yes, the answer is yes.
All right. Well, that clears that up for me. I want to go back to our folks that are doing outreach. Luz, you're heading up outreach, and Denise and Portia, you all provide the endpoint of outreach. What types of outreach has been done to get the word out about ERAP? Either one of you can take that, but I'd like for all of you to respond.
Yes, of course. I will say from our end, we have been engaging. We made a big announcement at the initiation of this program, along with Samaritas. We have continued to. We know people definitely see social media. We know you all are browsing Facebook, and that's how you ran into this event. And we definitely have created partnerships to make sure we're getting out on social media, that we're doing targeted ads across certain communities in the county to make sure there's access. But we've also formed some incredible partnerships with a lot of the folks in this space and many others to make sure that all of the residents that they're serving are able to get that information and be supported through the process. Okay,
great. Portia and Denise, how about because you all are on the other end of the outreach where you're providing specific service to folks. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we made sure that we could do outreach in 3 different languages, and we work with the outreach program to make sure we could have announced the information in both Spanish and Arabic and Bangla for our Bangladesh community, primarily in Hamtramck, but across the region. And then we're available from 8 to 4. If you go on our website, www.focushope.edu, because sometimes people go to org or com, but it's .edu. There is a tagline for Emergency Rental Assistance Program for ERAP. It gives you a phone number you can contact to make an appointment. And we do those appointments through our West Side location, which is Oakland Boulevard, our Inkster location, and our East Side location. So whatever's convenient to you, we have people there who can walk you through the process. So we just encourage people to go to our website or make a phone call, find out where they want, what's most convenient for them, and then come to us and we can walk you through, like I said, the process and the application.
Sure. Can you give that website address again, Portia?
I certainly can. It's www.focushope.edu. www.focushope.edu.
Excellent. And Denise, you have the program for our refugees or people. You know what? I'm going to change that term because I just don't like it. Let's say people who have been displaced. You're working with people who have been displaced.
I'm working with a group of nonprofits across Wayne County community who are helping to promote this program in their communities, and particularly in communities where we know there are a lot of renters and a lot of need for this program. And they are, I'd love to talk a little bit about what they're doing because they are, alongside everyone on this panel, working very hard to make sure that folks who may not otherwise hear about the program, hear about it, have access to help applying, and receive information in Spanish and Arabic and Bangla, as Portia mentioned. And a few of those, just to mention them, because they are doing some really amazing work. We're working alongside the Bangladeshi American Public Affairs Committee in Hamtramck. They are going door to door to local businesses and community centers and places of worship in the community and making sure that flyers are provided and information about the program is out there. We're also working with Zaman International in Inkster. They're providing information across all of their programming and the people that they serve, particularly to their food pantry members and other folks in their programming. Starfish Family Services in Inkster is likewise providing information across all of their programming, and they're actually doing in-person assistance every Wednesday in March from 5 to 8 p.m. So you can go there if you need access to a computer or want to sit with, as Portia mentioned, a human being and get some assistance filling out the application. They can help you with that. And then we're also partnering with the Family Center in Harper Woods. And so they're particularly working hard to make sure that all the other local organizations in the community who also serve that community and leaders there have the information they need to be able to support more residents. And others, there are other partners, Boys and Girls Club in Highland Park. You can find them sharing the word across Highland Park community, the Senior Alliance in eCourse. And then we're also working with a number of media partners, including Detroit Public Television here. Yes. You may hear ads on WDET radio or see it in some of the local newspapers as well. So it is, as you mentioned, incredibly important that we're able to share information about this program far and wide to everyone in the community. So we're really proud of the work that's happening around this.
Great, Denise, thank you. And the work that you're doing to get the word out is so very important. And we're hoping that people are getting the word out. They're coming to all of these sites. They're coming to Focus Hope. They're filling out the applications. They're going through the process, and they're getting that word that Luz shared with us, the award, to be able to take advantage of the ERAP program. And we've been unpacking this whole program for a bit. Let's put it all back into the package together. Luz, just remind us how to apply for the program. How easy is the application? How can people get assistance with filling it out? I think we know that they can because some of our partners here have assisted with that. But just talk to us about how to apply.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the first thing you want to do is go visit our website, waynecounty.com/rental assistance. You will find both the landlord and the tenant application there, as well as a lot of the important information that our partners just shared. The application is fairly easy and user-friendly. We do ask for a few documents as part of the federal requirements of this program, but this can be done on a computer, on a phone, and on a tablet, as long as you're able to take pictures and upload. Again, the documents that we ask for, you need a proof of ID, proof of residence. You need leasing documentation is strongly recommended. Proof of past due rent is strongly recommended. Proof of income, strongly recommended. Proof of COVID hardship, recommended. Proof of housing instability is recommended. And utility bills to confirm account in arrears are required if you're applying for utilities. A lot of these recommended items, it does say recommended, and we highly encourage folks to submit those because it helps us make the case for the amount of funding that we're allocating for each applicant or family. And so the more information we have to assess the situation of that individual, the better it is, the better the outcome for them. And so a lot of these items, again, it's all a requirement for us to prove that there's a need. But the more that you can give us, the better that we can package the application. That we do have immediate support for folks who need help, and we have a dedicated call center. The number for that is 833-742-1513. This is during regular business hour. And for those with hearing impairments, they can always reach out to us at rentalassistance@waynecounty.com. And we're always happy to provide support, as well as all of our partners who have those in-person application assistance. Focus Hope in their 3 locations, the Downriver Christian Center Church, the Redemptive Love Christian Center, and Starfish Family Services in Inkster. All of these, their contact information, their hours are on our website, waynecounty.com/rental assistance.
Great. So for our viewers in the program, when you go to the Wayne County website, there's 2 things that you want to pay attention to. One is the list of documents that you need to have to submit. And 2 is the various ways that you can submit. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, tell someone else about what's going on, because we're at a point now where we've got these great resources to get out to the community to help with rental assistance, to help with utilities. And it'd be a sin and a shame if people did not know how to be able to take advantage of these great awards. I'm going to use the term that Luz used, because that is so powerful. We did have an opportunity for our viewing audience on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to be able to provide some questions for the panel. So I do have the first question from the audience. Does the ERAP program replace the SARA program? ERAP, E-R-A-P, and SARA is C-E-R-A. So does ERAP replace SARA?
Not exactly. Again, I think they're considered parallel programs. So SARA was the program as it was being run by the state. They received an early allocation of funding, and so they have funds as well. They're certainly parallel programs. They're essentially the same thing, except being run by different entities as kind of how the funding has been allocated. And again, if you already have been awarded through one, you wouldn't qualify for the other. We do communicate and make sure that we're running the programs together but separate.
Sure, I understand. And I think that the coordination of the 2 programs to be able to ensure that folks don't get kicked out of both programs is so very important. So I like to see the collaboration that is occurring between the county, the city, and the state. That is so very important. I've got the next question from the audience. If the tenant won't apply, can the landlord just apply and show missed rent to be compensated?
I definitely think that a tenant application, and we can go back and check as far as the program, how it's built out. We do require a tenant application, because we have to be able to prove that that individual is in need of assistance, right? That it is based on the need of the tenant. And while we know that there are some landlords who, are waiting for missed payments, we have to prove that that individual has been affected by the pandemic, qualifies under the income thresholds, and that and that there's actually someone living there, right? So definitely, I mean, tenants are welcome to apply, and we're happy to support them in reaching out to or landlords to reach out to their tenants. But we do require a tenant who proves that they qualify for the program.
Great. So that is a clarification point, folks, that the landlord cannot apply by themselves in any situation. They must be accompanied by a tenant, but the tenant can apply by themselves, correct?
Yes, the tenant can apply by themselves so long as they provide the documentation to prove that they qualify.
Great. I'm so glad to see the questions coming in from our audience, because that shows that folks who are viewing are engaged and are curious about this program and are considering the awards that they can receive from this program. I've got another question from the audience. Does a person with a zero income, nothing to really show, apply? And what about a person who is currently homeless?
Yes, a person with no income can apply, and it'll be part of their documentation if they're unemployed. And also people who are currently homeless, definitely. We do have a portion of the program is relocation assistance. So for folks who need help making that down payment to a new rental, there is an opportunity there. Again, there's still documentation that needs to be provided to prove need, but yes.
Excellent. Thank you. And that is very important, because sometimes when folks don't have any type of income, or they might be homeless, they feel as though there's no assistance for them, but this program will assist them in that case. We are getting very close to the time where we'll be running out of time. I do have another question from the audience, and that is, this is an important question because a lot of people are curious about this. How long is the processing time for receiving funds for each applicant?
Yeah, we're looking at about 4 weeks right now. It really depends on the volume of applications that come in, right? If there's a lot of applications, it takes us a little bit longer. But we're looking at about 4 weeks to issue a decision. At that point, then we begin the process, either if we're paying the utility directly, if we're paying the landlord directly, or if we're mailing out that payment card to the applicant. We begin that process after the decision has been communicated. But we do strive to communicate with them, with our utilities and with their landlords, to make sure that we're communicating that help is coming.
Sure. Okay. And then this is our last question from the audience. Where can I learn more about the program?
Yeah, our website is the main place, waynecounty.com/rental assistance. You can reach us via email at rentalassistance@waynecounty.com, or more importantly, you can call our dedicated call center during business hours. The number is 833-742-1513.
Well, this is great. I think that we have had a great segment here on the ERAP program. I'm even more knowledgeable about it, and I think maybe our panelists are more knowledgeable about it. But most importantly, our viewers, we're hoping that we provided the information that we needed them to provide so that they would know how to participate in this program. And I particularly appreciate the aspect of the folks who have been displaced and them being able to get some assistance as well. I've got a great panel here. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this program. Meza, thank you so much for your guidance and for your leadership, because you're the interim director of economic development and you have primary responsibility for this program. That's a great opportunity, but also a great burden as well. And I think you're handling it very well.
I appreciate that.
For sure. I'd also like to thank Denise McGeen. Denise is working with our nonprofit community partners to get the word out in various affected communities. And Denise, you're doing great work there. We thank you so much for all of your efforts to make sure that the word's getting out.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm glad to be here.
Sure. And Mihaela Mitrofan. Mihaela is the director of the Southeast Michigan, I'm going to say this word, Mihaela, but you know how I feel about it, Refugee Resettlement Program with Samaritas. I prefer to say people who have been displaced. Thank you for that work that you're doing. It is so very important in this day and time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I also want to thank Miss Lovie Wilson, who's been with DTE. Lovie told us all about utilities and how the ERAP program can handle utilities and the 24-hour service that DTE provides to its customers to make sure that they can stay connected. Thank you, Lovie.
Thank you for having me.
And then, of course, last but not least, my very good friend, Portia Roberson. Portia is the president and CEO of Focus Hope. Portia, thank you for all the work that you do to concierge our community to a better solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Stephen. I love that term. I'm going to borrow concierge from here on out. And thank you again to Wayne County and the Wayne County Executive for allowing us to partner with you all on this very important program.
For sure. Thank you so much. And I am Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Grady Muhammad for the Wayne County Executive, Warren Evans. Thank you all for tuning in to our program on the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program.